Hi, I'm Rob Boyd, an English photographer from the UK. I decided to create this podcast series talking to international photographers whose work I truly love. I realised I knew nothing about these amazing people apart from their names and their stunning work. So I created a set of hopefully entertaining questions that finds out who they are and what they love. Hi, Darren. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate you being here, mate.
Yeah, great. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. So, if you could tell us your name and your Instagram name, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Darren Sachs, and on Instagram, I'm just Sachs.
Excellent. And have you got a website?
Yes, it's darrensachs.com.
Nice and straightforward. That's what we like. Excellent stuff. And where do you live?
So I was in London up until about a year ago, and I've recently moved to the East Coast, a place, Leigh-on-Sea. Yeah, just past or part of Essex. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Excellent. And where are you from originally?
From Johannesburg, South Africa. And don't know if you've ever been there.
No.
It's, if you ever get a chance to go to Cape Town, it's an amazing place. So yeah.
Yeah. No, it does look incredible. It does look an amazing place. So if I visited you, where would you take me to shoot?
I think, obviously if it was in London, it would be a very different answer. But now, here I'm right near the sea, which is very cool. So probably along the seafront, I've got a new appreciation for great sunsets, and it's really interesting taking a walk along the frontier. But I mean, what I think you'd really like is there's arcades, and they've got a lot of neons. You could probably get some cool shots there. There's an amusement park, and also there's it's the world's longest pier actually here, a few kilometers away. So yeah, it's pretty interesting as well.
And my next question was, are there any places to visit as a tourist? But I think you might have answered that one.
Well, yeah, that's perfect. I think a lot of tourists do come here to see this pier. It's actually got like a train on it and everything. I think it's like 2 kilometers long or something. So you need to get on that train if you're a bit tired from the photo walk.
And what's your favorite destination in the world?
So I definitely feel like I've not traveled enough to answer this question. But I've really enjoyed Lisbon. Just such nice people, such nice food. And I went in summer, so the weather was excellent. I really liked New York. When I went there, I wasn't actually shooting a lot. So I really need to get back. And, I think Lisbon and New York would be my favorite.
Excellent. No, I'm sure they're amazing. I've been to New York, but not Lisbon, but yeah, it does look incredible. And, so where's the place you want to visit the most in the world? Where would you like to go, especially for photography?
So I think Japan is definitely up on that list. People do say a lot to me, like, "Oh man, you really should go to Japan. You would enjoy shooting there." So I think it's got to be Japan. That's the place that's next. I think big trip planned.
I mean, with your work as well, because it's so colourful and so many layers and textures. I totally get that. So if you could time travel, a bit random, where and when would you visit?
That's a good one. I mean, I think probably the late 70s or 80s, and I'd probably visit New York. I think it looked like it was a lot of fun taking photos there during that time. Just looking at like Meyerowitz, doing his thing. I just think it looked like a really good time to take photos around there. So yeah, I think it would be good.
Absolutely. No, that's cool. Brilliant answer. I love that. So if you could photograph anyone in history, who would you shoot?
Okay, so I think that Nelson Mandela would have been such an interesting and inspiring subject, especially coming from South Africa and knowing the history of the country. I just think it would have been amazing to have met him, but also to have been able to photograph him would have been awesome.
Okay, tell me a fun fact about yourself.
Okay, so I play tennis a few times a week. Yeah, maybe some people didn't know that. And I also play guitar and I sing a little bit, but I haven't played guitar in a while. So, need to get back to that actually.
See, that's not an easy thing. Playing guitar and singing at the same time. I've tried that. That just doesn't work for me. That's a hard thing.
Yeah, that's true. It is true.
Another random one. What's your favorite word?
That is pretty random. The answer is probably going to be pretty random as well. But I really like the word Nox, Nox. I think it's the Harry Potter spell, but it also refers to light, obviously, and darkness or night. So I think it's really nice. I like the sound of it. I have a friend who's got a tattoo actually with Nox, and I just think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good answer. And now teach me a new word or a saying I might not know.
I mean, I think I'm going to dig into my South African vocab here. Interesting fact though is, in South Africa, we call traffic lights robots. So, when I first arrived in the UK, I was in an Uber and I said to the Uber driver, please could you turn right at the robot? So he said to me, he's like looking for a robot on the corner. I was like, no, I mean the traffic light. So yeah, we call them robots. It's quite funny.
Amazing. I love that. That's a great. So when did photography click for you? Excuse the pun, but what moment did you realize you could take a good photo?
I don't know if it's when I thought I could take a good photo. I mean, but I think that when I really realized I loved photography was I was going to New York, to America for 3 months back in 2011. And I bought like my first camera. And, I mean, I'd loved photography before that, but, I just was taking hundreds and hundreds of photos a day and just walking the streets. And I didn't actually know what I was taking photos of or any particular purpose, but I just remember how much I enjoyed it and how relaxing I found it. And I think that's where I really felt that connection with photography and with the camera. And that's, that's the feeling now that I kind of get when I take photos. So yeah, I think that's where it clicked for me.
Yeah, that's what I love about that question. It's one of those things that you know when, but not sure why.
Yeah, no, it is amazing. It's such a powerful feeling as well to think back to that moment.
Absolutely. So, what's your favorite 3 photos you've taken, and why do you like them?
It's yeah, I mean, and these may not be, they may not necessarily be 3 best or whatever, but there's a photo that I took in German Street. It's like a waiter that's in silhouette, and there's like a red bus. Yeah, I really like that photo. It's like got nice colors as well. I like it because it was quite complex to take and set up. So I think when I say set up, wait for all the elements to get into place. It's a bit of patience as well. So that photo I'm quite proud of. There's another photo that I took that has it's like a huge poster with like a tree and like a lampshade reflected as the subject's eyelid. I just really like the layers to it, and I like how the reflections worked out. And then for third, there was one probably waiting at just a tempting station, and it was like the subject was standing at the top of the stairs, and the sky was really clear that day. And he was standing there. It was just so lucky that it lined up, and the way the station lights lead up to the subject. And yeah, I mean, if I just think of 3, that's
Yeah, I mean, have you got any of those printed?
I've got one of them printed. I haven't hung it. And people say to me often, they're like, "Oh, do you have some of your work?" And I don't. I mean, I really need to just print some of them. It's nice to see your own stuff.
Good stuff. So what advice would you give to a new photographer?
So I firstly think I would say like just enjoy the process. I think it is easy to like look at like other photographers on Instagram and try like or be impatient about when will I get to that point. Don't pressure yourself and to find your style perhaps, because I remember when I like just started doing street photography, I was trying to find a style. I was like, oh, maybe it's details or maybe it's colors or, and I find that my style changed so much over however many years I was shooting. And I actually think it's really enjoyable to have your style change. Also some days you won't get any photos and some days you'll get one photo. It's like, I think that's something not to be despondent about. So there are days I go out and I'll take many shots and I won't like any of them. That's just how it goes. So yeah.
Excellent. No, I love it. And final question, you'll be glad to know.
No, it's great.
So what's next and what are your photography goals?
So for me, it's really get shooting more this year again. Like, I didn't shoot as much as I wanted to last year. So trying to get to take photos like at least once a week if I can. Now that I'm a bit further from London, it's not as easy to get into Central. So try and travel a bit more. So shooting more and traveling more. So yeah, that's the plan.
Have you got any destinations lined up?
So I'm going to Greece with my family in June. So that should be cool. And so far it's Greece, but I'm hoping to maybe sneak in something else.
Well, we are lucky. I mean, the thing is, because we're in Europe, it's so easy just to jump on a cheap flight and go for the weekend. It's, so we're very lucky.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Well, thanks for joining me. That was pretty painless. It was, I love your work, mate. It's absolutely amazing. And you always give so much advice to everyone. Anything anybody asks you, you're always there. And I really appreciate it.
Oh, thanks, man. And thank you. I really appreciate you having me on. And that's what's so great about the community, I suppose. Like everyone's always happy to jump in or offer some advice. So yeah, it's a really great community. So yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Really appreciate it. Right. You take care and thanks again.
Thank you.